Hello. We're working on Camilla by Eastern Express. Eight, 9, and 2. Essentially, they've got me building both arms at the same time. Gonna pause again real quick. Alright, we're back. Marbles, what are you doing over there? Huh? You know, you stay out of that corner. I know, there's a stranger upstairs in Mason's room, and you don't like strangers. I got that on there backwards. Okay. There we go. Charlie, K, and F. That's O. Charlie. K. F. F, 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 F. There's these. Hey Frank, hey Marbles. H, D, another C. F. Not the right F. is F. Okay. 25 and 29. What's that? C9. Hey Fenrir, how's it going? Just trying to take it easy today. I wanted to work on the hind, but my hands were just hurting way too much for a lot of fine detail painting and things like that. So I figured I'd just tackle this little kit. Well, I shouldn't say little, there's 2 figures in the box. We're getting through the first one now so we can get into the second one. Slow enough, I guess. Hey, Kenneth. Yeah, I'm off today and tomorrow. I work Wednesday and then I'll be off Thursday. I work the 4th, though. Even if I was off, I hadn't planned live streaming on the 4th. I was just gonna have a day, but I work. But you'll find me here tomorrow and Thursday. We'll see what tomorrow brings, depending on how far we get with this and how I feel when I get up. But I woke up this morning feeling like I just pulled a 12-hour week on hot pits. So something ain't right. That or I just pushed myself too hard. Hey, Alex. Good to see everybody's coming in. But I got my wife a nice set of her favorite slip-on sneakers for her anniversary. She ordered me a Macross kit. So this kit comes with basically two versions. There's that version, which we're working toward, and then the basic version. And right now we're building the basic version. 22? We've been together 23, but married 22. Save these hands for the mechanical version. I know, it's rare since most people aren't even making it past 10 these years. Not gonna lie, it's not easy, but here we are. At least this kit gives you plenty of extra wrist joints. Tonight I want to go outside and strip off my passenger side fender on my car, fix some minor dents and repaint that. I did the driver's side last week, or on Saturday night? Friday night. And I did the door. Let's see if I can find the pictures here. So yeah, there's the repaired stripe work. And that is copper to green paint. There it is in the sun. There's some minor dings I had to take care of in the door. and after repaint. So just slowly going over every inch of the car and stripping paint, fixing dent, you know, repaint, reprime. Hey Aries. Just having an easy snap together day. Yesterday I woke up and I am tired. I woke up tired, to say the least. But I woke up to my laundry load having somehow become unbalanced overnight. Another failed print. So I want to check out my screen, make sure it's okay. And my F15 knocked down. I'm still missing a GBU 12. Don't know where that went to, but I've got the rest of it fixed. A Camaro is... These days they're blanket under muscle cars, but it's actually more of a pony car. Oh, I do too. I don't know what got into him. I think it was Frank. I'm thinking somebody may have set off some fireworks after I went to bed. No, it wasn't the night before, but I had trouble getting to sleep that night too. Usually he doesn't get up there, but something must have scared him up there. It's all repaired. There was no major structural damage to the airframe. Just nose wheel at the compression strut was broken. Pinned and fixed that. Glued the munitions back on. No, it's somewhere in this room. I just don't want to pull another one from the AMK F14. Alright, arms are finished. Let's get on to the first pair of legs. Once that's done, we restart on the figure again from the new version. A11, A15. The scam colors are really on one today. Let me know if the music's too loud. But yeah, I am tired. Again, I think it's the usual, you know, my brain knows I'm off for 2 days, so it's basically telling me the first day to just kick back, relax, and don't worry about much, which I'm not. I mean, I only work Wednesday, then I'm off on Thursday, so you'll have me 3 days this week. Another kit I picked up is, it just came out, so I won't have it till the 15th because it's got to come from Japan. Kotobukiya is doing all their frame arms kits, the frame arms girl kits, in what they call the grand scale or grande scale. So this is your average size of a frame arms kit, right? This isn't one, but it's the same scale. Imagine one that's 1/6 scale. So far they've done Gorai, Letitia or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Okay, 12 and 15. They're doing the Architect, but she won't have her big gauntlet weapons, which she's known for. And then they're doing Stylet. And Stylet and Gorai, so far, are the only ones that come with all their weapons. Like, they're basically enlarged versions of the kit. Which makes me wonder if they ever get around to doing Cressvelgar, will they do the fully armored version or not? Because I could easily see that being a $200 kit. Because that's a lot of plastic. So here, give me a second, Fenrir. I'll get you a link to something. Now, the Magatsuki one also looks interesting, but Stylet's probably the next one I'd get. But here's a list to all the current grand scale figures they've got. Sorry. Oh, that's right, I can't type in here. I've got to go directly to the source chats. So you have to copy paste this from the YouTube side. Or maybe not. No, looks like it works. And then let me go to Twitch real quick. It's always on too. But yeah, they show a picture of each one with its corresponding regular scale figure. But essentially, they're doing 1/6 scale versions of their most popular figures, I guess. I have to say, this is actually fitting together really well. Yeah, YouTube always redirects. Yeah, so these are 12th scale and normal size. So that means the other ones are 1/6 scale. They're 250 millimeters, so 25 centimeter. 6 scale is typically 30 centimeter. based on a 6-foot tall person. So yeah, these would be about 1/6 scale overall. J, K, K. Okay. So I need K sprues and J sprues. Okay. Sorry, it's taking me a minute. There's too many sprues. Once we get into the second one, it'll probably even out more. There we go. And I kind of went through and pre-painted the model too. They're actually cheaper than I'd expect. I found mine on eBay for pretty much the going rate plus tax, free shipping. They were on Amazon, you know, because I was going to pre-order one, but the link disappeared, which tells me the seller on Amazon probably wasn't up to snuff. But that's okay. Okay, 15 and 8. I just want to see what one's like. If I like it, I'll get more. If not, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, they're just the smaller figures, tooled larger." They're not. There's actually new color breakdowns. There's new part breakdowns on them. There's a couple things I want to change on it to more closely match the box art, but we'll get to that when it gets here in about 2 weeks. Okay, 4 and 5. So I'm just getting the parts for each upper thigh to knee snipped off and put next to its relative parts. But as far as being tired, I slept okay last night, but not comfortably. I must have pissed somebody off who wished my pillow to be hot on both sides. Well, this is the unarmored form, Alex. Actually, I'll just show the promotional card they sent. So there's actually 2 figures in each box. And this one was a special. It came with silver metallized parts or red metallized. I'm going with the red. The standard one comes with the gray hair and the silver parts. This one came with an option for blonde hair or red parts, so I like the gray hair more. A lot of the Eastern Express kits actually come with 2 figures. And there's one I did, it actually came with, weirdly enough, stockings. Like fishnet stockings to put on the figure. And it didn't come in all of the boxings, only a few. I didn't know I was getting that until I got it here. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Mama. Marbles. Up, up. Come on. Up, up. No? Okay. He's just gonna stand there and meow at me. It's funny you say that, because I actually do kind of dislike when they do that. Because now I've got to make room for 2 figures on my shelf. But it's typically an unarmored version and an armored version. So that way you can have both, unlike the Framearm series where you have to build one and then store all the parts for the other. And I don't know about you guys, I really don't like playing with stuff once I've built it. Look out! Today's been an alright day, though. Oh wait, there's a ring that goes on there. Where is said ring? Charlie 21. It's okay. It didn't bother me at all. And it might wake up lurkers in the chat. So, the ATK Girl series, I believe, they started off as knockoffs of the Megami device line by Kotobukiya, and then evolved into their own thing. Where the Pretty Armor was knockoffs of the Framearm series, most notably the Architect. I think the Pretty Armor series are still out there, they're just not very common anymore. I'm just trying to be careful. This is a fresh X-Acto blade. I really don't want to slice my finger open again. Sure. The only part I can't find in the instructions is this one, and it's a little clear smoked plastic piece. It might be part of the bat that becomes her backpack armor, but I'm not too sure. Main reason for getting this one out of the way quickly, though, is just to make it so all the sprues are clear for the next one. So I'm not going, okay, is this part for this one or that one? Son of a bitch. So, to quote Cup from the '86 Transformers movie, I left a piece out. Go. And yes, they mold in thigh bulge for the thigh highs, which is an odd attention to detail, but it's there. Yeah, you told me about that, but don't start knitting or else you might knit a covering for a MiG-21. Because somebody else also did that. A 1-to-1 scale MiG-21. I can see it now. Alex takes up knitting. somehow discovers or formulates his own Kevlar yarn, and the next thing you know is he's knitting actual Kevlar combat things. Like Kevlar linings for cars and trucks. Just to make the grocery getter a little bit safer. No, what I was saying earlier, I think I just wandered off in that conversation. Muscle car versus pony car. Muscle car was typically reserved for something like the Charger or the Chevelle, a really large car with a big block motor. Whereas anything like a Camaro, a Barracuda, or a Mustang was called a pony car. But now the term has become more of a blanket statement for any car with a V8 these days is considered a muscle car. So not entirely wrong, but not exactly right either. I don't think I explained that well enough, and I just kind of wandered off brain-wise when I was trying to describe it earlier. But I have definitely confirmed that I've got a posi rear end. F9, F3. Not so much try to do a burnout. I was leaving work and they're doing a lot of road construction around where I work with a lot of gravel on the road. And when I went to leave, slipped in the gravel. And I could hear the right side squealing. All of a sudden it stopped, and then the left side started squealing. And then it stopped, and they traded back and forth for a little while. Until I got out of the gravel. I kinda had a suspicion before because I could never get it to break free very easily, even in the wet and on a turn. But I'd always hear one tire or the other squealing, but I could never, like, have it happen at the same time. The car's got the oomph, but it's also got the traction, so it's like, well, shit. Probably means I don't have to worry about getting in trouble for peeling out, though, right? Drop. And we'll try and get our usual 3 hours in today. Ain't no way in hell I'm doing that with an unknown transmission. I really don't need to go dumping another $3 grand into the car right now. And it's an automatic, so I don't really think that's going to do much. Kilo 2, Kilo 1, Kilo 11. Nope, not even when I drove it back to Salt Lake during the riots downtown and drove past about 5 or 6 SWAT trucks. I was like in the middle of the formation. They had bigger things to worry about. And I really didn't want it built to be a race car, burnout car, or anything like that. I just wanted to have... Yeah, I wanted to just have enough power to get its ass out of its own way when I'm on the freeway is all. And it's got that. It keeps it fun to drive without, one, having it be a fuel guzzler, and something that's completely uncontrollable. Because everyone's like, oh, you gotta turbo it, or you gotta supercharge it, you gotta put an LS in it. Or I just keep it period correct and enjoy the hell out of it. Okay, there's one. We're almost finished with this little figure, and then we'll get on to the main course. It has 2 figures. Armored and unarmored. A lot of the ATK girls do. Not all of them, but most of them. There we go. Feels like I got a nose hair sticking out. Alright, now we start on the real version. I don't know if you want to call it the angry version or not. But that's what we're making next. So that bunch of parts is out of the way. I could have sworn I got the masked face out. There it is. That's the one I want to use. But it's been 51 minutes. Let's take our first break a little early. Just want to move around a bit. Get things a little more organized. So, be right back. Alright, we're back. Come here, you. Get out of there. So I had to stand up and move around. It's actually warmed up a little down here, so I turned off my space heater. And, went and pet the kitty cats. Allie's got a little kitty cold. So she's sitting there going, phew, phew. She's got a little sneeze going on. She's alright. Yep. Hers are little quiet things. They're not the loud, you know, head-shaking, typical ones you'd expect. Now I need sprue E, number 17. There it is. Drop again. But that's also why I'm not painting today. I'm feeling a little clumsy. We'll see how things feel tomorrow when I get up. Might continue on the hind, or I might do a speed build. I've got a 30-second scale F117 that's basically all just one color. The small parts aren't too terrible. Just when your hands are having a bad day. Come on. I know you want to go in there. There we go. But another reason I'm not feeling great is I think I might actually be running a fever. Like I said, it felt like both sides of my pillow were hot last night, and I just didn't sleep very comfortably. And I was having some fever dreams. No, but it's the right time of year for it. And it doesn't help that I ran into a video last night right before I went to bed that kind of hit a little close to home, with Arnie leaving us soon. There's a guy holding his cat while it had its last few breaths when it was euthanized. It's like, yeah, I didn't need that. Not right before bed. I just hope when Arnie goes, he goes in his sleep. Drop again. There's that hair. Okay. $13, $7, and $16. I could have sworn there was another F sprue. There is. But I know the end is going to be pretty close. Just don't know exactly when, but... Trying not to dwell on it, it's just hard not to when you see him every day. He's still moving around, he's still eating, he's still jumping up on the counter and getting his food and stuff, but you can tell he's just getting slower and slower every day. But he's also basically 19, or no, 18. So I pre-painted a lot of the parts before assembly, but I might have to go back after and work on some of the detailing. Like right there, inside these pieces. G2 and 17. There it is. So even after assembly and decals, there might be a little more detail plucking to go on. Come on, go in. There we go. That. There we go. And the music is over, so let's get some new stuff up. Yep, no worries. Huh? Weird. Okay. So B2 and A14. But the smaller unarmored figure is almost like a warm up. Or being that the character's a vampire, a victim. Excuse me. Just making sure I've got my parts all facing the correct way. A15. And Charlie 25 and 24. Yeah, judging from the way I'm feeling right now, I probably won't be working on my car tonight. Welcome back. I think a lot of it is just due to the fact that this is the first 2 days off in a row I've had since my vacation, and my vacation wasn't exactly restful. There. That goes through there. Durr. Yeah, sorry if these streams aren't as enjoyable as the painting ones. But there's just some days I just don't feel like painting. Don't mind building something, but I just don't feel like painting. Come on. There we go. So I need C23. B11, D9, and 10. I wonder what I'm making now. Aries got it. Exactly. You don't feel like dealing with just everything that comes with painting. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Drop. Floor drop. Really, for fuck's sake? This was working yesterday. I really don't know if that's going in there right. Supposedly it is. I just don't want to break the part. There we go. All that trouble to build a pair of tits. D22. I think the painkillers are working because I'm starting to feel like waves of cold come over me. Not like freezing cold, but just like a drop in temperature. But that goes right back to Aries saying that I sound tired, because well, I am. E19. But this also isn't uncommon when I've been working a lot and just haven't had any downtime, and I finally get some, and I just get knocked flat for a day or so. C32 and G10. What's funny is ATK and Eastern Express, I believe, are run by the same company as Nuke Matrix, because Nuke Matrix came out with this one. But this is only a single figure in the box. So that might be the next one we do after this. Just making sure I got all the nubs. This goes here. So A20 and A5. 6. This one's going like this. I think today's due to be another 100+ degree day today too. And 19. Alright. See you when you get in. Just to warn you though, I may or may not be on. I'm kind of fading here. Maybe I'll just get this torso done and call it a day. I'm just not feeling great. C31D6. Yeah, we may just get through assembling the torso and call it a day. I should have known from how the aches were this morning that I was probably coming down with something. Maybe take a nap. If I feel better afterwards, I can come back on later today, tonight. G9 and B4. There it is. That one. No, that one. There was a paint scuff on there. E16. G7. N12 and 13. those go like that. Come on, you. Get in there. There we go. F31 and 33. These go right over these tabs here. Okay, yeah, those get trapped in like that. Okay. F10, N5. Oh, nice. Are the Chris Vectors going to be the crew weapons on the Leopard? Okay. Then what are you working on that's going to require Chris Vectors? Oh, gotcha. And 15 and 16. Nice little outlining parts there, huh? Come on. There we go. Get this on here. And 19 and 20. I never got into the other Total Recall. It's kind of hard to top the original. So just to show the difference between the armored and unarmored, get the down. But I think I'm going to call it a bit early. Like I said, I've been progressively feeling, I don't want to say tired, but just, I don't know, just worn down today. I wanted to at least get 3 hours. We didn't even make it till 2. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging in. I'm gonna go take some cold and flu stuff. Maybe take a nap. Might be on later today, later tonight. I don't know. Hopefully I'll be on tomorrow. But I'll see y'all later.